as one of the last speakers, but I shall still talk about it, given my passion. So first, we have to appreciate that NCGC will initiate and lay down an architecture that will help the SMEs address the market challenges. What are these market challenges? SME sector faces skewed and inefficient allocation of finances, information asymmetries, systemic market risk, and concentration of SMEs in the informal sector poses an additional challenge. Credit to the private sector in Pakistan undoubtedly has grown from 7.9 trillion to almost 11.67 trillion over a period of September 2020 to September 2023. However, it has declined as a percentage of the total bank assets from 33% to 27% over the same period. Financial system ends up servicing fiscal demands or large corporates, leaving a tremendous investment gap in the market for other priority sectors such as SMEs and also agriculture sector. In wake of these challenges, financial institutions are hesitant to lend to SMEs, particularly because of the perceived high risks and unappealing venture dynamics of it. Of course, both of them can be addressed effectively, and NCGC is one approach to address this. Basically, banks are risk averse and prefer safe lending and investment options, and that is the primary reason why our financial market dynamics are quite a bit distorted, to put it mildly. We have to acknowledge that private sector credit allocation to SMEs is only around 5.2%, which has declined from 7.7% in the last 5 years in Pakistan. In fact, when I was governor of the central bank, it was also around the same range. So it's been a long time that it has been quite sticky, these numbers. And it is significantly lower than the South Asia, which has an average of over 17%. Undoubtedly, they do better on exports and they do better on competitiveness. Reality is that SME sector accounts for 90% of formally registered businesses, contributes to around 40% of GDP, and employs around 80% of non-agriculture labor force, offering opportunities to low-income strata. Inadequate investment in SME sector that globally are recognized to enhance competitiveness of countries and industries and value addition, as well as employment generation that I pointed to, has hindered Pakistan's sustainable growth and development. I have to say this is a very far-reaching institutional reform that we are launching today because of the scene setting that I have laid out about the issues and challenges. Let me move to my second point, that it's important to recognize that despite the bottlenecks in financing and economic adversities such as the one that we are going through the business cycle today, SMEs in Pakistan have had proportionate economic contribution compared to SMEs in overall South Asia. So that again reinforces the power of SMEs. Despite our low servicing to SME in terms of financing, we still get more out of the SMEs. Besides, it's quite confirmed that sector's potential is substantive, because it will offer the financing industry, the industry at large, and economy incredible opportunity to exploit gains from this untapped sector. Evidence suggests that a 1% increase in banks' credit to SMEs would lead to 0.7% increment in gross domestic product. Hence, if Pakistan delivers South Asian average of 17.1% private sector credit to SMEs, it would offer about 9% impetus to the total GDP. So, Finance Secretary's job is cut out for future to focus more in this area. Commercial banks often struggle assessing the risk associated with smaller firms due to a lack of information and the vulnerabilities that exist in the atmosphere. And weak creditor and property rights, non-existence or poorly enforced collateral registration, and sizable informal sector that unfortunately we are facing in our country. At September 2023 closing, according to State Bank's data, out of 43 trillion Pak rupees in assets for all banks in Pakistan, 23 trillion Pak rupees are investments, which are solely parked in treasury securities. Now, sitting in Ministry of Finance, I don't think it's a bad idea because otherwise we won't be able to finance our fiscal deficit. But it cuts a sorry state because overall advances to private sector are pretty limited and there's more money in terms of the cash and currency circulation, a favorite topic of my fellow governor here. Of the 12.5 trillion Pak rupee in advances, only 3.3% are advances to SMEs. So you can see why we are all praising the evolution and establishment of NCGC. Despite low saving ratios in Pakistan, at least for now, liquidity in the banking sector is not the problem at this point. However, risk aversion remains a persisting challenge. In such environments, credit guarantee schemes emerge as a valuable mechanism for risk transfer and diversification. By covering a portion of the default risk, guarantee scheme reduces the lender's risk, ensuring repayment of all or a part of the loan in case of default, and absorbs significant share of borrower risk such as insufficient collateral and weak creditor rights. Moreover, credit guarantees help alleviate the stringent collateral requirements imposed by banks on SMEs, extend opportunity to SMEs by having a more competitive interest rate for them, and enables SMEs with insufficient collateral to access the lending market. In situations where maintaining a certain interest rate level is crucial for preserving the quality of borrowing pool, credit guarantees play a pivotal role in enabling firms with limited collateral to participate in the lending market, ultimately leading to increased overall lending. My third point, a well-designed and effectively implemented credit guarantee schemes can create on an average 30 to 35% financial additionality in the market, which translates to economic additionality in terms of higher productivity and innovation, employment generation, etc., etc. Globally, we have seen diverse economic impacts of credit guarantee schemes to SMEs. Basically, some of it has been touched upon by Vakas, but let me reiterate few examples here with more specificity. For instance, in Malaysia, credit guarantees to SME resulted in diversification of economy with an expansion in high value added production. The Korea Credit Guarantee Fund, which I had the privilege to be affiliated with, supported 3.4 million SMEs by keeping interest rates low and serving as a counter-cyclical policy tool during economic downturns. In the United States, as was pointed out by Vikas, guarantee instruments